Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Sri Ramakrishna is emphasizing again that by any path you can reach the goal. Somehow or the other, dive into the nectar of immortality. Whether you take the Advaitic path or the Dvaitic path with form, or Advaitic form beyond the form and formless, doesn't matter. I give the Brahmos the illustration of water and ice. Ch.10 is like an endless expanse of water. The water of great ocean in cold regions freezes into blocks of ice. Similarly, through the cooling influence of divine love, Ch.10 assumes forms for the sake of bhaktas. The rishis had the vision of supersensuous spirit form and talked with it. But devotees acquire a love body, prema sharira, and with its help they see the spirit form of the Absolute. The two aspects of God, one with form and without form. Sri Ramakrishna is reconciling between the two. Again we go through just like the water in a ocean. Water in a ocean expansive everywhere, and it doesn't have a form by itself. It takes the form of the container. Suppose the container is there like a Shiva's image. Put water in it, it looks like Shiva's image. If you put in Vishnu vessel, it looks like Vishnu. Water has taken the form of Vishnu. Whatever form you put, a bottle, if it is round and vertical, it is round and water is round and vertical. It takes the form of the container. Similarly, God takes the form of the container. What is your mind? What is your shape of your mind? What does your mind and heart think of God as? Immediately it takes that form. Avaravara bhavake, avaravara bhakutiಗೆ avaravara taranagi rutihanu shivayogi. Shivana bhaktarige Shiva. Whatever form or whatever way in you approach God, He approaches in the same way. For Advaitins, it became the Advaitic principle. Without form, without name, without qualities, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Karma, nothing is there. It is absolute because his mind structure is like that, it is perceiving that. For one who is perceiving God or understanding God or expecting God to be that, with form, a particular aspect of form, like human, with 4 hands, with 2 hands, with 100 hands, doesn't matter. God takes that form because He has no limitation of form. He can take any form. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna is reconciling between this, taking this one example, and some places, because of the excessive cold, it takes the solid form. Most of the ocean is water and water alone, which has no form in itself, no color, no complete transparency. Here if you see the ice, You can see the eyes. It is not transparent like water. So here you see the ice is formed because of excessive cold. Sri Ramakrishna compares it to the love of the devotee. The love of devotee, the seeking, the longing to see, longing to converse, play, talk, it takes the form. Like because of the cold, water becomes ice, like that because of the coldness of bhakti, devotion, because of the love the devotee shows for, that it takes form. When small children want father to sit below and play as it plays, father takes that. She starts walking on the floor, getting inside the below the table, below the chair, moving about, crawling on the floor. All the father does for the sake of child, because child wants him to play in the same way as he plays. So such a father who is sensible and understands everything, how does he play with the child like a child in the childish way of being there? And it is possible, it happens. That's what we see God taking. Similarly, through the cooling influence of divine love, Ch.10 assumes the forms for the sake of bhaktas. For the sake of bhaktas, he takes the forms. The rishis had the vision of supersensuous, that is, beyond the sense perception, spirit form, Chaitanya form, and talked with it, interacted with it, experienced with it, communed with it. But devotees acquire a love body, and with its help they see the spirit form of the Absolute. One is supersensuous or beyond senses, the form. They both Sri Ramakrishna using the form, because in Bengali and Indian languages, rupa is used to say form. English also we use the term same form. Form doesn't mean always the form of a body or anything. Suppose I say God came in the form of air. We use the term in the form of air. God came in the form of air. The form is, air doesn't have a form at all. In the form, we use the terms, is something like format, in the format. So, in the form, in the form of spirit, with which, but super conscious, it is abstract, beyond senses, super sensuous, beyond senses. Senses cannot perceive it that way. And here we see God taking, is appearing in spirit, is conversing, playing, interacting with God. Same spirit form. Spirit form Sri Ramakrishna is using because there is no matter, material. Sachidananda Sagara in which you dive, it doesn't have a physical form or limitations of matter. It is not time and space bound matter. It is cause of matter. So, in that material aspect is not at all there. That form of the spirit and another physical form, acquired physical form, perceivable by senses, sense perceptible. So you need all the whole thing, bodily existence, to see you don't need a bodily existence. The sense instruments need not be there. The body need not be there. Mind to work and function, brain need not be there. So the absolute can be perceived without a body, but with, you have to see with the body. Now in deep sleep, you are not seeing any form or the duality, but in dream you are seeing. In dream there is duality, you are seeing various forms, you are seeing elephant, horses, people, road, sky, earth, water, all things you are seeing in dream. Mind has taken all those forms. Mind alone has taken all those forms. Except mind, nothing is there in dream. When you wake up, the whole thing is mind alone. Play of mind was going on. How every mind itself had taken so many forms. You perceived, you interacted with it, you ran in the field. Actually, you passed through all those experiences. How did that one mind become many, appeared as many to you? And why? Because you identified with a dream body there. Because you have a body, mind, senses and mind could play the game of being all the objects of the world and create a world just because you identified with a body. The body is necessary to experience the duality, the world of duality. I am identified with this body, so I am seeing the multifarious world of this waking state. Suppose I enter into spiritual state, I need a body there to see a world of God, a form of God. All other things may be absent, but I want to see the physical form of God. Then I need a body. In Samadhi Sthiti, the superconscious state, I get a love body, just like I had a dream body in dream and this physical body in waking state. I have a love body, prema sharira. It projects a prema sharira. Now I identify with the physical body of the universe. I identify a dream body of my mind, created by mind. Here God has creates a world of spirit for my sake. And He takes the form. There is space, there is duality. I get a love body with which I can interact. Just like dream has produced a dream world, God has produced for my longing to fulfill my longing. Like a child's demand, the father answers, tries to fulfill all the needs and desires of the child. Like that, God also participates in the life of the devotee to supply him with all his needs and expectations. Devotee wants to see God, play with him. So he creates this one. He creates a love body for the devotee and does the prana pratishtha there like we do in the murti. I start moving. So moving, talking, everything, all dualities. With duality I start experiencing God with form. So here the Sri Ramakrishna is saying, similarly, through the cooling influence of divine love, Ch.10 assumes Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. Existence, it exists. Existence, it is existence itself. All these objects are getting existence because of His existence. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Because consciousness is pervading all this, it is looking real. It has only name and form. Its existence belongs to the Lord, absolute existence. Satchidananda. It is the Satchidananda which is appearing to us. It has the consciousness pervading it. Even in the dream world we are able to see the existence is there because consciousness is pervading it. I am conscious Consciousness is pervading the dream world. Mind, I have given the consciousness from me. The moment I sleep, go deeper to deep sleep, I am my consciousness from the mind. Mind sleeps off. Just like I withdraw my consciousness from physical body, body sleeps off. And I am independent of the body. So this consciousness is giving existence to the dream world. My consciousness. If consciousness, I am not conscious, then dream world also won't be there. Because it needs an identity of its own, which is given by the consciousness. Love body. Satchidananda, Sat, existence, Chit, consciousness. Sat, Chit, Ananda, the bliss, Ananda. Every object is expressing that. We don't perceive, but Sat, Chit, Ananda is there. Chit is alone in matter. Chit alone is not expressed. It is dormant state of inexpression. Sat is expressed because I am able to see it. Chit is not expressed here because it is not living body. The moment Chit from this chair, suppose Chit expresses, it becomes a living body. Life is expression of consciousness through matter. Life is expression of spirit through matter. So it is, Chit is hidden. Chit is dormant. Sat is visible, existence. Chit, Ananda, it has its own Ananda. Sometimes we perceive, sometimes we don't perceive. Every object in the universe, every person in the object is expressing some joy and peace, which we are not able to see. Sometimes we experience. When we see a flower, beautiful, when you see a beautiful scene, you will express joy, you see the joy being expressed there. So that Satchidananda assumes the form for the sake of bhaktas. The rishis had the vision of the super sensuous spirit form and talked with it. But the devotees acquire a love body, and with its help they see spirit form of the Absolute, spirit form of the sea, because he has been endowed with a body which can perceive. Senses are there, sense instruments are there, it can perceive. It can interact at the physical level. But in the Absolute, when they go through the Advaitic path and see the spirit form of superconscious state, super sensuous state, it is beyond perception. Indriyatita, as Indriyatita vastu. Talking means what? Now I talk to myself. Nobody can hear. Talk is going on within. It cannot. Now, talking to spirit is a different language which all the external languages, it's independent of the talk at all. There is no words. There is no, suppose a dumb person. Dumb is dumb because he is deaf from the birth. A very deaf, totally deaf person cannot speak because he doesn't understand the language. He cannot pick up the language. But he sees everything, understands everything. At the understanding level it remains. Then when he sees a ocean or some picnic here, there, he goes and comes back, tells his mother what all he saw without words. How the mind is conceiving what all he saw and telling to mother through signs Words are not there. No talking. He expresses through eyes and movements of the eye. Sound. Only sound. And then he'll be showing hands. There, here, this happened, that happened. Everything he conveys. And imagine he's after going and coming, how he remembers the whole thing. People moving about this, that and all. He's talking to himself. He's understanding. It is at the jnana level. It is not at vak level. But he's talking to himself, telling to others what he saw also. At the experience level. Not at the word vak level. He is not bringing to vak level or registering everything. Nothing is registering. We all register everything in word form. Here, as it is, scenes are recorded. What all he saw, I can recall again through words. He cannot recall through words. He has to record everything. He'll be visualizing. It will be like meditation from him. To remember his past, he went and came. When he's telling, he is seeing those scenes in the mind and trying to present that scene. This is how we speak to spirit as spirit, and only jnana. Jnana is expressing. Here words are expressing. Stuti, gana, all these are. They are jnana alone. They talked with it. The devotees acquire a love body. But devotees acquire a love body, and with its help, they see the spirit form of the Absolute. They see with senses, they see the spirit form and interact with it. It is said that in the Vedas that Brahman is beyond mind and words, Vang Manatita, beyond words, and it is said in the Vedas that Brahman, the absolute existence, is beyond mind and words. That is Vak Manatita, Vak and Mana, mind and senses, mind and words. The heat of the sun of knowledge melts the ice-like form of the personal God. When the knowledge comes, it is like dawn. And slowly the sun is rising. When it comes to the higher level of horizon, you can see it all absorbing. Ice is kept there, it is melting away. Heat of the sun of knowledge, jnana, jnana surya, its heat melts the ice-like form of the personal God. On attaining the knowledge of Brahman and communing with it, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, one realizes Brahman, the infinite, without form or shape and beyond mind and words. Where what he experienced in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, he cannot tell anybody because it is inexpressible through words. What he experienced. Even in our own life, you see, pain. I have some pain, I cannot show to anybody. I cannot tell what kind of pain, how much of pain I have. People used to say, I have headache and all that. From my childhood, I had never experienced what is headache. When they say, I have headache, what is that headache? Yes, I know what is the medicine they take, paracetamol or the Dis.10 or this, that. I used to give, but I never understood what is that because I have not experienced. Suppose a person has never experienced pain, he can never know what pain is like. So headache I never knew. Other pains I had, suppose I slip and fall, pain and all. But headache I never had. But when I was finishing or studying in college, one new swimming pool was opened. For opening day, first someone get into the water. I was to enter into the water first time. I was on the 10 feet board, swimming, diving board. From diving board, I jumped into the water. How many times, how many years I have practiced. But this time, when I dived into the water, what was extremely cold one way, and it was a new swimming pool, and I dived. The moment I dived, I got headache. First time I experienced headache. That headache never went. For 3 days, it was remaining, constant headache. Then I understood what is headache. Like that, I cannot convey what it is to a person who has never experienced. God who has not experienced God, after also getting into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi, also, at least I can give some expressions. What we experience in Nirvikalpa can never be explained to anybody. Okay, words cannot carry it. And he cannot understand. Mind cannot understand. Intellect cannot understand. So, when he realizes Brahman, the infinite, without form or shape, beyond mind and words, it transcends as it is. When we are entering into Vijnanamaya Kosha itself, mind dissolves. Mind merges in Buddhi. But Buddhi with the Jnanendriyas will remain to experience the Savikalpa Samadhi. These two will be there. Mind has merged in the intellect, Karmendriyas have merged in the intellect, and only Jnanendriyas with Buddhi will be there. Buddhi and Jnanendriyas. 5 sense organs and intellect. With that, I am going to experience the Savikalpa, God with form. One realizes Brahman without. The nature of Brahman cannot be described. About it, one remains silent. Who can explain the infinite in words? However high a bird may soar, there are regions higher still. What do you say? Preacher, yes sir. It is so stated in the Vedanta philosophy. How beautifully Master is convincing about the reality, making every soul who meets him to realize the truth somehow. Whatever way the soul wants to go according to its nature and tendencies, Sri Ramakrishna is supporting it, backing it to see that it reaches its goal, ultimate goal. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.